Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I want to show you how I'm setting up my monthly spread in my Documented Faith Planner for the month of December. As you can see there, I didn't quite finish out November, and I haven't done the divider page yet, but that's okay, I'll get to it. I'm going to go ahead and pull these pages out. Now, I'll apologize ahead of time, the lighting in this video is not fantastic. I waited till too late into the day to start this project, so I tried to adjust it a little bit, but I apologize ahead of time. I'm going to go ahead and take this stamp set from Close to My Heart, and this is a large alpha stamp. If I can find them, I'm going to go ahead and link them down in the description bar down below. I did have a friend of mine who was a rep for this company let me borrow it, so I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to find it, but I'll look. I'm going to go ahead and pull out these three colors of Distress Inks. I have Festive Berries, Evergreen Bough, and Iced Spruce, and I'm going to be stamping with these three colors today. And these are really good quality stamps, and what you're going to see here is the impression is not perfect, and that's because I'm using Distress ink. So just like the name says, it's meant to stamp in a distressed look, so it is kind of splotchy. I made sure to ink it up really well, but you are going to have kind of a textured stamp, and that's okay. That's actually what I was looking for. For the month of December and all my projects, I'm kind of going for a more kind of vintage, traditional feel with the Christmas theme, so I wanted something that was kind of vintage and rustic looking. So I'm going to go ahead and take those three colors and just alternate them as I stamp out the word December up here at the top of the page. And then I will go ahead and use these three colors throughout the project today, and I'll show you some different ways to use the Distress Inks. I'm just going to finish up here the last little bit of stamping for the top there. And I am just using a baby wipe to wipe off that ink off of the stamps. Now I've gone ahead and pulled out the blending tools and some of the little round daubers. I did go ahead and buy some extras, so I no longer have to keep switching back and forth during my videos. I'm going to go ahead and ink up this foam blender really well, and then I'm going to dab it down and kind of twist it around, forming a circle, kind of like one of the bingo daubers. You want to make sure that you smooth the ink really well onto that foam dauber so you don't get a square impression from the ink pad, and that happened to me a couple times, and that's okay. I'm not overly worried about it, but if you want a more smooth stamp, you can see there's a couple little squares, but you can avoid that just by making sure it's evenly inked up. So I went ahead and just repeated that pattern of the inks throughout the month. Here I've got the washi strips from Documented Faith. This is from their Teach kit, which I believe is still available, and I'll go ahead and link that down below. So I'm just picking a few of these and sticking them on here. You can see these are translucent, so you can see through them. Later on, I'll find out I probably should have stuck these down after I did the background because you can see through them, but that's okay. It works out. The great thing about these is you don't need a billion different rolls of washi tape to have a bunch of different colors and patterns. However, they are slightly different than your typical washi tape. So you can see here I'm having to cut it off. They don't seem to really tear off like washi tape does. They are more of a shiny finish rather than like a matte paper tape. And you can see here where I had stuck it down kind of crooked and I went to try to pull it up and it wasn't coming up. It was going to tear that page. So it's much stickier than washi tape, which is, all those things are not bad things. They're just different qualities than what you may be used to with a typical roll of washi tape. So just so you're aware. So somebody had used this set of washi strips on their one of their December pages and had commented that the colors really went well with the Christmas colors, and so it kind of inspired me to pull it out and use it on this spread today. So I'm glad I saw that. So I just kind of put those up in the corners. Here I have some stamp sets. These are from Illustrated Faith. Now this stamp set here is a stamp set that stands on its own. You can just order the stamp set. I'll have that link down below. The other two came with their devotional kit for the month of December. So one of them came with a kit. The other one was a free bonus stamp, and it's no longer available. So I apologize for that. I am going to use some of the stamps from that set, and I don't believe that you can get them any longer. If I can find them, I'll link them, but I don't think that you can. I'm stamping with VersaFine ink today. I'm kind of testing out the differences between VersaFine and StazOn to see kind of which one I like better and just kind of the differences, so that's why I've switched it up here. VersaFine is a pigment ink, so it does take a little bit longer to dry, and I did make sure to heat set it with my heat tool before I started adding water. Also, I had accidentally stamped on top of that washi tape, and since it's a glossy washi tape, the ink really didn't want to dry on top of it. So those are just some things to be aware of. But it does give a really nice, clean, crisp image, which I like. I went ahead and pulled out the word Christ and gift, and then wrote in is the. So now I have a phrase that says Christ is the gift. And I'm just kind of playing around trying to decide what I'm going to use in that corner there. I ended up picking out this little hollyberry stamp, and this is from the stamp set that is limited edition. There may be a few Etsy shops, maybe By the Well, For God. They may still have the kit that has the bonus stamp, so that might be something for you to check out. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp those little hollyberries. And then I am going to color these in using the Adorn It watercolor pencils. So I do have a review of these pencils on my channel. It's a pretty recent video, so be sure to head on over and check that out. I've gone ahead and put them in this clear photo box, and that's just so that they're easier to store for me. I'm going to go ahead and pick out some colors that coordinate with the colors that I've already used. So I've gone ahead and pulled out my little swatch sheet here. One of the downsides to these pencils is they don't have color names on them. So you'll just kind of have to go through and test them out and see which colors you want to use. Not a huge deal, but just so you know. And I'm going to go ahead and use the Adorn It watercolor brush, or the water brush, to activate these pencils. So the nice thing about this paper in this planner, it is a really smooth paper. So I'm able to color down with the pencils first and then activate them with water, and they completely dissolve, and I don't have any issues with lines or things like, or unevenness or anything like that. However, on regular copy paper, they don't blend nearly as well if you color down first. So this is a really good, nice quality paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay down some of the color, and then I go back in picking out some darker versions of these colors and just add a little bit of shading to these packages. I didn't get super fancy, but just to kind of add a little more dimension to them so they're not so flat looking. I'm going to go through and add that in, just picking up the color from the tip of my pencil and then adding in that shading. So I was really pleasantly surprised with these pencils. They have really good pigmentation, they're easy to blend, so they are a great option if you're looking for a watercolor pencil. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and take another stamp set from Close to My Heart. This is a little smaller alpha stamp, and I'm going to go ahead and, again, using that VersaFine ink, I'm going to stamp out all of the numbers for the month of December. So, and actually when filming this video, I got halfway through and realized I had misnumbered my calendar, and I had to scrap the spread and start all over again. So I will be 1 month short at the end of my planner, but that's okay. What I do to sacrifice for my videos, right? So I'm just going to go through and stamp out all of these numbers, stamping out the ones first, and then I just kind of go through and fill them all in, which you'll see in a few minutes here. So a little tedious, but not too bad. There you go. And you see I accidentally kind of washi taped over Christmas Day, but that's okay. I'll do some other things for Christmas. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this distress ink. This is brushed corduroy. This is one of my favorite colors to give that distressed background look. You've seen me use this color quite a bit. I probably will go ahead and buy the bigger version of this ink pad just because I seem to be using it quite a bit. I'm just going to go ahead and cover the entire page with this ink. I am going over all of the other images and coloring and all that kind of thing. And here's where you'll see, since I had laid down that washi strip first with the circles, you'll be able to see the white of the page underneath it, and it doesn't get that brown color, so I probably should have done the background before the washi tape, but that's okay. So here you can see the difference. You get more of that antiqued look with that brushed corduroy ink. So that is it for the video today. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the subscribe button so you can be up to date with all of the videos I have coming out, and check out the description bar for all products used. Thank you so much. Until next time.